Us Weekly's Billion Dollar Babe, Bethenny Frankel. Part of the secret to Frankel's success, I don't take myself seriously and I can act like a joker, but I'm a pretty serious person. So Bethenny Frankel, the mom mogul and TikTok master, talks to us about hitting pinnacle of success at 54. It's so strange. Could this not have happened 7 years ago? I have everything I want. Well, 7 years ago, TikTok wasn't popular, so no, it couldn't have. It's hard to believe now, but when we met Bethenny on The Apprentice, Martha Stewart in 2005 and got to know her better on The Real Housewives of New York in 2008, she had very little money. Actually, it's hard to remember a time before Frankel, period. That's how ingrained in the culture she's become, first on TV, then in business, and now on social media, in our collective consciousness. For almost 2 decades, Frankel, 54, has shared her no-nonsense warp speed takes on everything from the best chicken salad in the Hamptons to why it's important for everyday citizens to chip in when communities are suffering. Through it all, she's been working her tush off and making bank and headlines. She sold off the Skinny Girl Cocktails arm of her corporation in 2011 for a reported $100 million, and to date, Skinny Girl's other categories, including shaper, popcorn, salad dressings, and coffee, have generated $1 billion in retail sales. She has $3 million followers. Not dollar. She has 3 million followers on TikTok and 4 million on Instagram. She walked the L'Oreal runway in Paris at 24. Sports Illustrated in May. Life is very, very good. US Weekly's Entrepreneur of the Year, who recently left Connecticut for Florida with her 15-year-old daughter, Bryn, and their dogs, caught up with us about finding her greatest success in her 50s. Let's go back to the beginning. Where do you credit your motivation? Oh, I hate those questions. Do you ever wish it weren't that you could flip to a less intense way of being? I would love to be that. It's not the body, it's the mind. I have so many ideas that it's really hard to turn them off, but I'm grateful for that. I've dated a lot of men who either have money from families or have had or made money on their own or have sold companies, but they're like, wait, you have so much going on. It makes sense that it makes me feel like I have nothing going on, or they'll try to overcompensate and find things to do because they used to feel happy in being around me. They feel like they're not doing enough. So I feel grateful that I can execute ideas all the time, that I can connect with people. That's a weird thing to say, don't you think? You're telling me that grown-ass successful men feel like they don't have enough when they're around you? That doesn't make sense. No, I'm sorry. Maybe they just think you're too much, like, personality-wise, but no successful man is going to feel that way, in my opinion. Okay, is there anyone you relate to most, or do you feel like you've created your own lane? I've heard Martha Stewart. I think there are some similarities because Martha's a hard worker, but I've heard from people who worked with her that she doesn't have as much energy as I do, and I know she's much older, but it's a different style. Ellen DeGeneres did that one powerhouse thing so well, which was a beast, but that was one thing. I'm doing so many things that I don't know. I can't think of many women that are doing so many different things. Okay, Bethenny, I'm a follower and I like you, but this is sounding so arrogant. I mean, is it just me? Why are you comparing yourself and making, like, one-upping everyone? I think that's the vibe that you take as jealousy and people comparing themselves to you, but it's really just that you say stuff like that and it's annoying. That's my take. And I still like you because I'm a fan, but this is not it. Do you remember your earliest business deal or something you did early on that gave you the first big adrenaline rush? The first thing that was really successful for me, being on the New York Times bestseller list, her 2009 Naturally Thin, Unleash Your Secret Girl, and Free Yourself from a Lifetime of Dieting book. Being there for 5 months as a fairly unknown was a big deal. Then Skinny Girl was the fastest growing cocktail in history of time, and it was the first ever low-calorie, ready-to-drink cocktail. I mean, I invented the skinny margarita. I was the first person to use the word skinny before items like lattes and pizza. The ready-to-drink space was dead, so knowing we were the fastest-growing liquor brand in history, that says something. And then when I did my spin-off to The Housewives, Bethenny Ever After was the highest-rated series premiere in Bravo history at the time. Or like the Forbes cover was amazing. My Leaving Housewives and the ratings going from 3 million to 1 million again. The numbers don't lie. And then returning and the ratings going back to over 3. It was like, oh, wait, I have value. These were signs that things were going well. You need those in life. For people who are entrepreneurs, you need that data, those stats, they keep you going. Okay, but what about the stats of your TV show? You don't mention that. I'm not knocking your TV show. I'm just saying, like, I think the way you word things matters. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Have you ever worried about something too intimidating or powerful? I don't really care about celebrities, but I've been called by much more successful and well-known people than myself to try to get to me, like say something positive about them or take their side in something that's going on. This is all more recent though, because I'm opinionated, share my opinions, because nobody has anything I want. It's okay if you don't invite me to a big party because of the things I say. I don't even want to go for the most part, you know? Okay, that I do like about Bethenny. I feel like I want, if she's going to give an opinion, I want an honest one. That's why I don't like, I have my tiny little podcast and I have book author guests and stuff like that, but I talk shiz on my podcast. Like, I'm a shit talker. I like to talk pop culture and real opinions. That's where Bethenny and I do relate. I will never, like, I don't want to be those people that have a bunch of celebrities on their podcast, because then you have to, you know, not talk about them because it's awkward, and I don't want that. I want to be able to say freely everything I think and feel. So I'm with you, Bethenny, there. How does that make you feel? More aware that people are actually listening. I just used to think that I'm talking to myself and my followers and we're over here doing our thing. I didn't realize it was more than a global scale, media-wise, blah, blah, blah. All right, so financial tips from a self-made boss. Okay, well, I don't leave anything to chance when you're messing with my livelihood or my daughter. If you fuck around, you find out. Oh, gosh. Okay, Bethenny. We get it. You're confident. We get it. No kidding. Do you feel like you're at the peak of your success? Yes, it's so strange. I'm not 35. I'm going to be old. I'm going to be old soon. She doesn't think she's old now. I love that for you, because I feel I'm not even 50 and I feel so old. Could this not have happened 7 years ago? Like, just give me a little fucking more runway. We all know it's ridiculous. Walking Fashion Week and walking in Sports Illustrated, 15 years old, come to me. Like, what's going on? What role do you think social media played? It's what I always wanted. How do I just be myself? Where does that exist? I'm a free bird. So I've always known that I just want to be myself, but the universe didn't have the vehicle for it. I thought Instagram was like, you take a picture, but okay, whatever. So TikTok saved your life. We get it. How much money do you make sitting at home? It's not just sitting in my pajamas. It's also opportunities that arise because it's sitting in my pajamas. Okay. It's speaking engagements, brand partnerships. It's so many different things. It's my website and models I've created that even agencies have not figured out how to do. See, again, even agencies has not figured out how to do. I'm the best. I'm the smartest. I could do what no one else can do. It's like, it's the wording here. Okay, I'm not taking away from your abilities, but it's the wording that sounds silly. It sounds silly. So we're sort of gatekeeping about the way that I make money, because it's definitely different than anyone else in the entertainment industry. And I know because we've had many agents try to figure out how we're doing it, and we're doing the deals, but I'm gatekeeping it now. Okay, she's gatekeeping. She got that from TikTok. Is attaining infinite wealth a goal? No, it's just a scorecard. I have everything I want. Money is great when you have an aging parent or someone reaches out to you and they need help and you want to help another human being. For me, was an estranged that parent, but I'm the one who could do it. They had family members. Okay, whatever. Did you ever find pressure to spend money a certain way on Housewives? No, Bethenny's pretty real. I will say that. I just think she could do with more self-awareness. I think being real is great, but being real doesn't have to equal being harsh, if that makes any sense. And I think she's too, I mean, whatever. She can be how she wants and she's great how she is. But I think a little self-awareness goes a long way as far as relating to people. Because, like, you don't want people to feel like, oh my God, not her saying she's the best at everything again. Like, that kind of thing. I think she'd come across her points better if she just worded it differently. Do you see yourself taking over the company one day? I don't necessarily, because it's so in me, it's so eccentric, and she doesn't want the attention. But then she sort of does what she wants. She's doing a branded deal today because they'll say, do you want to do something? She's doing something for back to school, but like she'll dread it. She's going to have to do it. And I feel that because like you want to do stuff and then you don't. You're like, oh, you question it. And it's like, oh, how annoying. And then you're locked in. Okay, she talks about her daughter, cute Bryn. Does she get an allowance? Yeah. Yes, but she does not spend it. She's like, okay, that's cute. Are you proud of Housewives era in your life? I do in so many ways, and I look back at people fondly. It's nostalgic and part of pop culture. Well, Luann de Lesseps was out here talking some shiz in her last interview on you, so that's not fun. Apparently, they had a lot of friction. What about reality TV now? I think that there's been a shift since the reality reckoning. I know from production that they've definitely improved workplace conditions and consumption and what's acceptable and unacceptable. It was a wild west for a while in some ways. It's a good opportunity for people to, because they get to have this platform. In other ways, it's been so saturated. They spend so much time shooting. Someone just recently asked me to do a show with them. They're pretty famous and we can get a show, but like, I don't want the bulk of the camera shooting, hair, makeup, editing. It's just too bulky. It would be a very specific situation and it would have to be an astronomical sum, like millions of dollars. Oh, for a couple months. Okay, Bethenny. You already have your reality show on TikTok. You've talked about loneliness and how your April move from Connecticut to Florida was part of it. Can you say more? I was shocked at how many people related to that and were thinking about where they live. I mean, everyone moved to Florida. You didn't invent that, okay? And they now they need to move, and a lot of people are, because it's not what they thought it was. So stop moving here, because we don't have the room, and it's not that fabulous. All right, Entrepreneur of the Year. It's so relatable. Blah blah blah. Okay. I mean, this is pretty long. Have you been dating? I have not. I've been celibate, but she talks about her dating stuff online. She hasn't been celibate maybe for a few weeks. I'm not saying I think of myself as some hot commodity, but I do have several men pursuing me, and they think we'd be great for each other. So they're trying to sort of push me to go out with them. But I know that either they're too short, too tall, they're not successful enough, they don't live in a place I want to live or visit. Like I get to choose. And in the past, the reason I've been so shitty at relationships is because you get in a car that's going the wrong directions, but you get in anyways when you're younger because your friends will say, just go have fun. Like I don't want to. I'm not wasting any time with any of the bullshit unless it's bullseye. I'd rather be alone with a vibrator. I've got my kid, my friends, I've got my house, I've got my freaking cocktails. Get out of here, go away. All right, you sound lovely to date. No, I'm kidding. This is the problem when people get older. I'm not saying to settle, but like it doesn't hurt to go on a date. How are you gonna know if you like somebody? I'm sorry. Apart from where they live and what you consider success, because success comes in many forms, and just surviving is success in a lot of ways. But you got to get to know the core of somebody and see if you get along. Like all those other outside things, they do come into play and they matter to an extent. But actually wanting to hang out with someone is the goal, I think, because everything else, you're not sleeping or hanging out with their car, you know, like you got to like their essence and want to be around them. So dating, you need to date. You need to date. Like you can't get around that. Because somebody might have everything you want, and then guess what? You don't like hanging out with them. You don't like to watch the same stuff. They're intolerant, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, anything that scares you about your stage in life, health, being alive, well, for my daughter, not getting hurt. We're more fragile. I'm a person that has always been clumsy. I always knock onto something. I stub my toe every day. So I just want to be healthy for my daughter. I'm not preoccupied by age. I'm not vain, but I'm aware of it, and I want to be healthy. She's 15 and she wants to be with me so much and spend the day with me, and we love each other. Today I said my team, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What do you credit your success to? Authenticity is what's inside your body, what's coming out of your pores. Okay. So many celeb brands take off. I think the truth is, like Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, I bet they're good, decent people. They didn't want the fame, but they didn't want to give up the lifestyle because it's expensive. Now they're living in Montecito and it's hard for things to land. It's hard to land all of those things, and they wanted to do it in a timely manner because they realized there was a window of opportunity. So they made all these different deals and businesses really hard. I respect that relationship and that loyalty to each other, and I just don't think it's that easy. I believe when they say stop, I'll probably stop. When there's no appetite for whatever I'm doing, we stop when we go up to the tables and the tables are going cold. What was your reaction when you found out you had... Okay, that's so old news. Is there anything on your bucket list? I'd love to be on Saturday Night Live. My new fantasy is to do something with Catherine Han. I'm crying over her. I can't deal with her. What do you think of people making money off things like OnlyFans? What do I care what someone else does with their body? Don't do anything unsafe. Don't get hurt. But like whatever. It's an honest living. No, it's actually gross. Oh, sorry. That's my opinion. It's not shady. If I couldn't afford support my daughter, or even if I could not live well and I go on OnlyFans, sure, would I show my boobs on OnlyFans? Many people see my boobs for free. That's not the point. But anyways, all right, Bethenny, thank you for the article. We love watching you. We're followers and continue doing it, you know? That's in Miami. You could tell. Look at the way she's dressed. $1 Million Baby Beth.